Hey everyone, Jeff Corwin here. I'm thrilled to have you with me for an adventure into one of Europe's most breathtaking and mysterious mountain ranges. Today, we're traveling to the Pyrenees, the rugged border between Spain and France, to uncover the story of a vanished legend, the Pyrenean Ibex. These mountains, with their dramatic cliffs and sweeping valleys, have long been a sanctuary for rare and remarkable wildlife. For centuries, this unique mountain goat, Capra pyrenaica, was the spirit of these wild peaks. The ibex was more than just an animal, it was a symbol of the untamed wilderness, inspiring awe and respect in all who glimpsed it. With their massive, spiraling horns and season-changing coats, they were perfectly adapted to life on the edge. Their ability to blend into the rocky landscape and endure harsh winters made them true masters of survival. Agile and sure-footed, they ruled the cliffs, surviving where few others could. Their daring leaps and nimble movements allowed them to escape predators and thrive in places that seemed almost unreachable. But their story is also a warning, a tale of breathtaking survival, tragic loss, and a scientific experiment that made history. The fate of the Pyrenean Ibex reminds us how fragile even the most resilient creatures can be in the face of human impact and environmental change. The last Pyrenean Ibex disappeared at the dawn of this millennium, leaving a void in the ecosystem and a lesson for us all. Their absence echoes through these mountains, a silent reminder of what's at stake when a species vanishes forever. Yet science dared to challenge extinction itself, attempting to bring this animal back from oblivion. Through groundbreaking genetic research and cloning, scientists embarked on a bold quest to rewrite the fate of the Pyrenean Ibex. Today, we'll explore the life, loss, and astonishing return, however brief, of the Pyrenean Ibex. We'll look at what made this animal so special, and how its story continues to inspire conservation efforts worldwide. Join me as we journey through a story of nature, loss, and the limits of human innovation. Together, we'll discover what the Pyrenean Ibex can teach us about the delicate balance of life and the power of hope in the face of extinction. Life in the Pyrenees was a daily test for the ibex. They scaled sheer cliffs, foraged on sparse alpine plants, and survived brutal winters with thick, insulating coats. Females formed herds with their young, teaching survival on the rocks, while males banded together until the autumn rut, when horn clashes echoed through the mountains. Their hooves, engineered for grip, let them leap across dizzying heights, nature's ultimate climbers. Predators like wolves and golden eagles kept them sharp, while their grazing shaped the mountain meadows, maintaining biodiversity. The ibex was a keystone species, its presence vital to the health of the high-altitude ecosystem. Their disappearance would ripple through the food web, changing the very landscape they called home. In the Pyrenees, the ibex was more than a survivor. It was the architect of the wild. The Pyrenean ibex's decline was a slow-motion tragedy. Relentless hunting for meat, hides and trophy horns decimated their numbers throughout the 19th and 20th centuries. As villages expanded and livestock competed for grazing, the ibex's habitat shrank and fragmented. Diseases from domestic animals struck the dwindling herds, which were now too small to recover. By the 1980s, only a handful remained, isolated in Spain's Ordesa y Monte Perdido National Park. Conservation efforts came too late. The once mighty herds were reduced to a fragile remnant. The ibex was caught in a perfect storm of hunting, habitat loss, competition, and disease. The world was about to lose a remarkable species forever. Extinction was no longer a distant threat, it was imminent. In the end, the fate of the Pyrenean ibex rested on one animal, Celia, a solitary female, and the last of her kind. She wandered the rugged slopes of the Pyrenees, a living echo of a species that had once roamed these mountains in great numbers. Her presence was a poignant reminder of what had been lost, and what was at stake. Scientists tracked her in Ordesa y Monte Perdido, knowing her days marked the end of an era. Every movement was carefully monitored, every sighting recorded, as researchers hoped for a miracle that would never come. In 1999, researchers captured Celia to collect a small tissue sample, her genetic legacy, before releasing her back into the wild. This act, simple yet profound, was driven by the hope that her DNA might one day help restore what was lost. Months later, tragedy struck. Celia was killed by a falling tree during a storm. The randomness of her death underscored the fragility of life and how even the most vigilant efforts can be undone by nature's unpredictability. With her death in January 2000, the Pyrenean ibex was declared extinct. The mountains that once echoed with their calls now stood silent, bearing witness to the end of a lineage that had survived for thousands of years. The mountains fell silent, the species gone not by a bullet or disease, but by a random act of nature. It was a quiet, almost unnoticed ending, but one that resonated deeply with those who had fought to save her. Yet, hope lingered in the frozen cells scientists had preserved. In laboratories, her genetic material was carefully stored, a fragile thread connecting the past to the possibility of a different future. Celia's story could have ended there, a sad footnote in natural history, a cautionary tale about the consequences of human impact and the limits of conservation. But her tissue sample set the stage for a scientific first, an attempt to reverse extinction. For the first time, scientists dared to imagine bringing back a lost species, using the very building blocks of life. The end of the Pyrenean Ibex became the beginning of a bold, new chapter in conservation science. Celia's cells became a symbol of hope, inspiring researchers to push the boundaries of what was thought possible. Celia's legacy was about to challenge the very definition of extinction. Her DNA, preserved against all odds, offered a glimmer of possibility that extinction might not always be forever. Her story reminds us that even in loss, there can be a spark of hope. The lessons learned from Celia's life and death continue to shape the future of conservation and genetic science, and sometimes that spark can ignite a revolution, one that redefines our relationship with nature and our responsibility to the species we share this planet with. With Celia's frozen cells, scientists set out to do the impossible, bring the Pyrenean Ibex back to life. Using somatic cell nuclear transfer, the same cloning technique as Dolly the sheep, they replaced the DNA in goat egg cells with Celia's genetic code. These reconstructed embryos were implanted into surrogate mothers, Spanish Ibex and hybrids. The process was painstaking, with no guarantees. Out of 57 implantations, only 7 surrogates became pregnant. Each pregnancy was a fragile hope, a chance to resurrect a vanished species. The world watched as science pushed the boundaries of what was possible. The experiment was a high-stakes gamble, one that could change conservation forever. Would the Pyrenean Ibex walk the mountains again? The answer was about to be revealed. Of the 7 pregnancies, only 1 reached full term. In July 2003, a surrogate gave birth by cesarean section to a cloned female Pyrenean Ibex, a genetic twin of Celia. For the first time, an extinct animal had been brought back to life. The scientific world was stunned. Hope flickered for a moment, but the newborn struggled to breathe. Her lungs were fatally malformed. Despite frantic efforts, she died within minutes. The miracle was heartbreakingly brief, but it proved de-extinction was possible. The experiment was a landmark. Extinct DNA could create living animals. The birth and loss of the Ibex clone sparked global debate about the future of conservation. Could we and should we bring back lost species? The Pyrenean Ibex had become a symbol of both scientific triumph and the limits of technology. The Pyrenean Ibex's story is a powerful lesson in the fragility of life and the consequences of human actions. This majestic creature once roamed the Pyrenees, a symbol of the wild and untamed beauty of nature. Its extinction was slow, preventable, and echoed by countless species today. Human interference, habitat destruction, and climate change all played a role in its demise. The de-extinction attempt, though brief, opened new frontiers and new ethical dilemmas. Scientists grappled with the moral implications of bringing back a species that had vanished. Should we resurrect lost species or focus on saving those still with us? This question remains at the heart of conservation debates today. The Ibex was more than a mountain goat. It was a keystone shaping its ecosystem. Its presence influenced the flora and fauna of the region. Its loss left a void in the Pyrenees, a reminder that extinction is forever. The landscape, once vibrant with life, now holds a somber silence. De-extinction is not a safety net, it's a last resort, fraught with challenges. The complexities of reintroducing a species are immense and fraught with unforeseen consequences. The real lesson? Protect what we have before it's gone. Conservation efforts must be proactive, not reactive. Celia's story urges us to act now, so no more species are lost to memory. Her legacy is a call to action for all of us. Let's ensure the next chapter for wildlife is one of survival, not regret. Together we can make a difference and protect the natural world for future generations.